Jim Cramer is calling for a market explosion to the upside on Monday. Robert Kiyosaki is calling for a doomsday crash in markets with a bullish outlook on Bitcoin, mind you. Jamie Dimon is coming out allowing traders at JP Morgan to go at it in the crypto space. And we need to talk a little bit about Michael Saylor's prediction of a $150,000 Bitcoin before the end of 2025. Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip. I am holding my microphone close to my face in this video because my baby's sleeping right next door, and I want to keep it that way. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Let's dive into the news. Look at what's going on the charts. Fox News reporting, Fox Business, that trillions are about to flow into Bitcoin and crypto, coming in at the same time where Jamie Dimon, who has previously hated crypto, is now saying traders at JP Morgan can go at it with Bitcoin trading. He still doesn't really like it, but he is more pro crypto, not necessarily pro Bitcoin. It's a very interesting time. Let's look at the prices, and I'm going to get into some of these other stories as we go along through this video, giving you guys a nice Halloween weekend update. Now it is what, November 1st? We got November 1st, a new month, a new monthly candle for Bitcoin. Let's take a peek, actually. So first off, Bitcoin's sitting at $110,000 right now. Ethereum is under 4,000. If we look at the returns for Bitcoin on average in the month of October, this is actually the third worst October we've ever had for Bitcoin, because most of the time they're green, right? The average for Bitcoin in October has been 20% gains, but we closed red. A lot of people famously like to refer to October as Uptober, especially in a bull market, which we're supposed to be in right now. But October was just red. Now, a lot of people were talking about how last time we had a red October, we had a very red November. So far, November's a little bit green. It is so early in this November. But let's talk about whether we can expect to go up or down. Because again, there are a variety of different opinions here. First of all, Michael Saylor predicts that Bitcoin will hit $150,000 by the end of 2025, despite some of the fears over tariffs that we've been seeing as of late. Now, we actually just saw the president come out with another set of comments saying that he'd like to lower the China tariffs by another 10%. So we might see a little bit of resolve with that. But that is something that's been holding these markets back, I think. What we still have ongoing as well is the government shutdown, which has held the Fed back from seeing some of the economic data that's going to allow them, hopefully allow them, to cut rates in December as well. We just had a Fed rate cut. Historically, that's a bullish thing. I don't think that it's outlandish to think that it's achievable for Bitcoin to hit $150,000. Of all the predictions that I'm seeing about Bitcoin for the remainder of the year to the upside, I think this is a very reasonable prediction personally. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? Let me know what your thoughts are on that in the comments down below. We have another story coming out where Robert Kiyosaki, famous investor, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, one of the best-selling books of all times regarding finance, has been calling for this big market crash. Millions will be wiped out. Protect yourself. Silver, gold, Bitcoin, and Ethereum are the place to protect yourself. So he's calling for a market crash, but he's saying that silver, gold, and Bitcoin and Ethereum will protect you. Does Robert Kiyosaki not believe in a Bitcoin bear market? I don't know if he believes in the 4-year cycle, but I don't think he's really looking at a short-term thought on it. I don't think he's thinking about bear markets and bull markets for Bitcoin. I think he's just thinking he's always liked silver and gold because they're a finite supply. They're a resource that's been around for a long time. Bitcoin became a part of his exciting collection. And that's for good reason, because there's only 21 million Bitcoin in existence. And And Ethereum as well is the second largest crypto. Though admittedly, I'm less bullish on Ethereum than I am on Bitcoin, to be honest with you. That's my personal opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. But let's talk a little bit more about this idea of Robert Kiyosaki, who has been calling for market crashes, by the way, for years and been wrong. He's calling for this big crash. And Jim Cramer, who is famous for his inverse calls, in other words, always gets it wrong. Always is not always, but it seems a lot of the time, if he says it's going to go up, it's going to go down, and vice versa. But he says that stocks will bounce on Monday. Now, I want to look at the reality of the situation. Bounce on Monday. The S&P 500 is just been skyrocketing. It's not like it needs a bounce per se. The S&P 500 has been doing tremendous. Maybe over the FOMC meeting, fear like it's a little bit down from like 10 seconds ago, you know, but a bounce on Monday. I mean, it's been taking new all-time highs. This market's been hot. It's been very hot. Stocks, the S&P 500, gold's been hot. Yes, it's retraced since it had its massive moves to the upside. But it's a very interesting thing going on where so many people in the crypto space are talking about Cramer versus Kiyosaki on markets. A lot of people are talking about this today. And you know what that tells me? It tells me that nobody has a clue what is coming next. Now, the only thing that I have to go off of personally, in my experience in these markets, is that Bitcoin is a bull market that lasts. Wait, and I'm a broken record, I know, for 1,070 days. Technically, time is up. But people say this time is different. I am open to that idea. I am open to the idea as well that if we do see some bigger market crash over time, Bitcoin is a good place to have some money, I think. I think gold is too. I like Bitcoin more. It's digital gold. It's gone up much more. It's been tremendous. It's been incredible. I love the finite supply. I like that it can't really fail unless the quantum computer threat becomes a real thing. And I'll remain bullish on Bitcoin for a very long time. I don't have the answer. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give financial advice. But I am here to say that I think that this conversation of, well, Jim Cramer's calling for a stock bounce and Robert Kiyosaki's calling for market crash, everybody's looking for a big move one way or another. We could continue breaking out. We could see another move back up for Bitcoin and for stocks. Or we could see some bigger crash. For Bitcoin specifically, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bear market. Now, how is this time different? Well, maybe it's not as bad of a bear market for Bitcoin, and maybe it lasts not as long, and we find a recovery quicker than we've seen in bear markets in the past. I don't really love that Jamie Dimon is coming out in a bullish way for crypto, officially allowing people to, quote, go at it. Once you see people flipping bullish out of the blue, people like Jamie Dimon, I don't necessarily love to see that. But I don't think that, that means it's over necessarily. Regardless if we're in a continuation for the bull market or not, I do believe there are tremendous trading opportunities, whether you want to sign up for BTCC, Bit2Next, Blowfin, Weeks. There are sign-up bonuses on all these platforms. If you click on the link, like say you click the link for Blowfin to go sign up, there's a 10% trade rebate and up to a $5,000 bonus that you can take advantage of if you sign up using our link. In the description, it'll take you right here. And all you need is an email and a password, and boom, you get in. That's all I have for you guys in this video. I am bullish on crypto for the long term. There's a ton of uncertainty right now. There's fear in the market. If a big bear market comes for Bitcoin, I will be buying that dip. I will be buying that dip epically, specifically on Bitcoin. And I will always have an appetite for altcoins because when they perform beautifully. And there's still a chance in my mind that we get an excellent explosion for altcoins after we see that magical money printer turn back on. December 1st, quantitative tightening officially ends. And we are going to be moving into more of a risk on asset phase historically. Are we going to see an immediate pump out of Bitcoin or crypto from that? Some people say yes. Historical data says that if we're going into a bear market for Bitcoin, that has lasted for almost about 400 days every single time. What are your thoughts, guys? Let me know in the comments down below. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, DCA. Hold on, my friends. I will see you in the next one. 2 videos here if you want to check them out. Have a great weekend, y'all. Peace.